Baseball fans, welcome to the 50th episode of the Bullpen Show. If you're tuning in for a little bit of a recap for the Palmetto games, that's going to be a little later in this week. Right now, this is going to be our special on Little League Baseball, and I'm very fortunate to be joined by Coach Dave Bogan and three of his All-Stars from the Irmo group that won the Little League, representing South Carolina, representing the Southeast in the Little League World Series that everybody gets a chance to enjoy in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Now, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. I hope you're doing all right.
We're doing well. Busy, but we're doing well. Thank you. Thank you.
And boys,
thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Boys, can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let's roll here, Coach. Obviously, it's been a whirlwind, and just take folks back for just a moment. Last Wednesday, you guys defeated Lake Mary, Florida, in the Southeast Regional. That group had beaten you 14-0 earlier in the week or earlier in that tournament. You're down big going into that bottom six. You're down 5. You come back and you win it on Brady Westbrooks over there, who gets to walk off with a 3-run double, and it propels you guys into, obviously capturing the opportunity to go to Williamsport, where you sit right now. Didn't know until earlier today when I was doing a little research. This is only the 4th time that we've sent a team from South Carolina to Williamsport. It's the first time in 10 years. So first, I want to congratulate you, Coach, and congratulate you boys on representing our state in Williamsport.
Thank you very much.
Coach, well, I mean, it's obviously been a whirlwind. So basically you win and you're whisked away. You've been there, 6-7 days, it looks like, since you won. And so you land there, you're in Williamsport. Take us through, if we can, just start back to when you win, you capture that ball game, and now all of a sudden, now we're off to Williamsport. Take us through that wide range of emotions.
So let me back up even before that. We were told we had a lot of rain in Warner Robins, a lot of rain. Field crews did an amazing job to get that facility ready. But we were told before the game that the winner would not be able to go home. Originally, the championship was on Tuesday. It was delayed due to rain till Wednesday. And so we knew if we won, we'd have to stay one more night in Warner Robins and then catch a ride on an airplane up this way. The game was, obviously a lot of emotion. We knew as coaches, we talked and sort of felt like we would rather lose to Lake Mary the first time 14-0 than 3-1. Not being in their dugout, not knowing their coaches, that's a very, very talented team. But we thought there'd be maybe a chance that they'd overlook us a little bit and maybe come in overconfident. I don't know if they did, but we were hoping. So we get into the game. Joe starts. He pitches a really nice game. He had one inning where he had a little bit of control issues, and they get a couple of runs. And then we bring Brady in. I think they got one more run. So we're in the top of the 6th, and, I had a mound visit. And then after that inning, when we got out of it, in both the mound visit and talking to the team, it was really about, guys, we got to grind. We have to grind. We got to grind out at bats. Little League pitch counts are a big, big deal. Their starting pitcher was at 71, I think, and roughly 85 is the number. So we felt like we needed to try and get him out. And quite frankly, I said to the team, we need to grind out at bats and we got to get to Joe. If we get to Joe, who's in the 2-hole, that'll give us a chance. We knew that, just by doing the math, that would give us a chance. Utmost credit to the kids that were more at the bottom of the order. Palmer Steele got a walk. Ethan Bennett got a walk. Sutton Gravel, then I believe he struck out, but I believe it was a 5 or 6 pitch at bat. Then Braden Gerard, I think, had a 9 pitch at bat with a single. And all of those things added up to their starting pitcher having to come out of the game. And so extremely proud of those guys at the bottom really setting the table for the top of the order. And then they had a new pitcher. Bubba McQuilkin came, he was our last hitter, and even he had a 5-pitch at bat with an out and just helped settle. And then we went to the top of the order. Preston Ware earned a 6 or 7 pitch walk, and it set the table for Joe. Brady probably will remember Preston was up. Brady, you can call me a liar if you want, but Preston was up, and I said to Brady in the dugout, if Preston walks, what did I say, Brady?
That they'll intentionally walk Joe.
And that's right. I said if Preston walks, they're probably going to intentionally walk Joe with the bases loaded and be ready to hit. And they did. And Brady looked at me like I was crazy when I told him, but they did. They walked Joe, and to make it 4-2. Preston got us 1 run. It's 4-2. And then Brady came up. I don't know if you want to ask him about that now or you want me to keep going around the whirlwind, but that sort of sets the table for Brady in terms of what he was thinking about.
Yeah, Brady, let's hop over there real quick. And I failed at the top of the show here to mention we got Joe Giulietti, Brady Westbrooks, and Andrew Bogan are the 3 player representatives that we got from the Irmo team. So those are the 3 guys we got with us in this podcast. So yeah, Brady, let's just go straight there. All right, so now you're up. They've walked Joe, and they're facing you. All right, always a sign of disrespect, right? You're going to make them pay. Give us an idea what you were thinking when you stepped in the box?
So I was kind of nervous going in because I didn't want to be the last out, but I also wanted to win. And going into the box, I didn't even get to go in the box. Coach Mike, our third base coach, he pulled me to the side, told me to have fun and just relax. And so I went back in the box thinking fastball because it's the only thing he was going to throw. And I get down 2-2, 2 outs, and he throws the pitch low and inside, and I hit it.
The rest is history, right?
Yeah.
This thing, you're on the bottom of a dog pile, and you guys are headed to Williamsport, where you sit right now. And so you've captured this, and like you said, Coach, quickly on a plane and land in Williamsport. If you could kind of give me an idea of what that whirlwind's been like, and what have you guys been up to since you landed there?
Yeah, so we had an early wake-up call about 5 a.m. That would have been Thursday morning. Took a bus from Warner Robins to Atlanta, got on a plane in Atlanta, landed in Newark, New Jersey, and then jumped on a bus for about a 3.5-hour bus ride from Newark to Williamsport. Get off the bus, tired. I think everybody's really exhausted, and quite honestly, probably just want to lay down and take a nap. We went through a quick orientation in the dorms. We're welcomed by the Little League staff, warmly welcomed by the Little League staff. And then we headed over quickly to get fitted with what we call our base layer, which was, pants, hats, Little League t-shirt, belts, socks, etc. And so we did that quickly, and then came the best probably moment so far being here. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. But they took us down to the Easton Rawlings equipment area, and they opened up this garage door essentially, and the kids walked into this equipment room with all brand new bats, gloves, catcher's equipment. And I told somebody it was like Christmas on steroids. These kids were so excited. Looks that, as parents we see on Christmas morning when you have young kids. I think whatever fatigue they had at that moment was gone. It was a pleasure to see. Brady mentioned in his post-game interview about getting a free bat. They've all gotten Easton bats and helmets, and so we were fitted with all the gear, and I think the kids have been on cloud nine ever since. They all got new gloves, and our biggest struggle has been telling them that we don't want them to play with those gloves in the games because they're not yet broken in.
That's
so
right.
Joe swears his is, but he may be the closest, but they're not ready for game action yet. So, but that was the first day, and then the second day we got our uniform, or I think our tops, or maybe we got those the first day. But then we went through the ESPN, what they call the ESPN car wash, where they did a lot of promotional stuff, a lot of filler, highlight things where we score a run or somebody they'll flash some Southeast highlights and things of them celebrating with each other. There was a red carpet display. There was a display that had kind of stars behind it where they were dancing and doing things. And then we had to do some research interviews with them as well. So that took a few hours. But that ESPN crew was fantastic, and probably an experience that many of them will never have again. And since then, it's been a lot of, we've practiced some. We've wanted to give the kids free time where they can. They've done a lot of pin trading, making friends from other teams. You'll have to ask them who their favorite teams are. I'm not even sure, but they're spending a lot of time in the rec room, in the basketball court outside, just making friends and creating bonds with kids from all over the country and all over the world that they, wouldn't have otherwise experienced. So we practice about once a day, basically on a field, and then hitting the cage. And then we want to, as much as we can, give the kids free time. Today's been a busy day. We practiced this morning. We had lunch. We're doing this now. And then tonight, this afternoon, this evening, there's the annual Williamsport Little League World Series parade, which supposedly is a great experience. So we're really excited for that. And then, tomorrow's opening ceremonies and the first game start. I think it has been a long week of prep. Definitely worth it. They've done great. The boys have done great, but I think we're all that saying we're ready for games to start. We're ready to get playing.
Absolutely. You're there to play baseball, but you're having such a wonderful experience, you guys. We're going to shift to you three boys just sitting there, in Williamsport, it's really a dream. Every kid in America grows up seeing this thing every August on television. You know that it's a big deal. Now you guys are actually experiencing it. So we're just going to go one by one. We're going to start with you, Andrew. Obviously, you've had a good front row seat from behind home plate, and you've been catching these guys and doing damage yourself at the plate. Andrew, if you could kind of talk a little bit about how this experience has been for you so far since you guys won to this moment before you throw your first pitch or catch your first pitch. What's this experience been like for you?
This experience has been truly amazing. I couldn't really ask for it.
Now, Andrew, I got to follow up with this question. Now, you seem to share the same last name as the head coach here, the manager. Is he tough on you? What are the pros and cons? What are the positives and maybe even some of the negatives of being the father, the coach being your dad?
And Andrew, I want you to be honest with the world, good and bad. Be honest with the world, okay?
Well, pros, or actually cons, he gets on me harder than everyone else. So I'm probably a pro. I'm his favorite child.
I know about that one, Andrew.
Boy,
I love it. Well, let's go to your battery mate right here, Joe. You got the rock, Joe Giulietti. You got the rock on Thursday. No stranger to big games. Obviously, this is a pretty big one too. But tell us about how your experience has been so far, and then what you've got to do mentally to be ready when that bell rings for you on Thursday.
It's been amazing being here, like getting all like the gear and everything. When I usually start, I usually just focus in on throwing strikes, trying to like locate as well as I can, try and hit the mitt and get quick outs.
And that'll be the key for you again on Thursday. It doesn't matter what level you're playing, the ability to just kind of tune out all the noise, because there'll be plenty of it, probably more than you ever dealt with before. But at the end of the day, your catcher's still standing at the end of where you're trying to put the baseball, seeing the mitt, hitting the mitt, and the more times you do that, chance you got to be successful. And try to tune out all that noise, right? And Brady, you've had a lot of noise. You talked a little bit about your walk-off hit. How many Instagram followers and Snap followers have you been able to gain in the last 6 or 7 days?
In the last week, I probably gained like 200 followers.
you have Brady. Do you have Snapchat?
Snap
Or
Snapchat
what?
or Instagram?
Instagram. You got Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, same question to Joe and Andrew. Your Insta follows going up a little bit?
We don't have that.
I don't have that.
Well, what do you got? So no social media for you guys. I love it. I'm talking to guys that are in. So you actually be able to talk to your parents and hang out with your teammates. Good for you.
A lot more people coming up to us, though.
Well, I can tell you on a lot of the stuff.
More people are coming.
Say what?
A lot more people are coming up to us and asking where the kid who hit the walk-off is.
That's right. Well, you guys are all become, pretty much overnight rock stars in this area. A lot of the social media that pops up for me, we had our big event going on this weekend, and a lot of what I saw was Irmo baseball. So back here, even though you guys haven't been here, a lot of folks are certainly following what's happened so far. I'm looking forward to this interview that people will be able to listen in on what you guys have been up to. But obviously, we'll be tuning in on Thursday to be able to watch the games. You won't realize it probably till you get home. But you guys are becoming household names in the state you come from. So that's a really cool thing. And, you guys are up there and, you're in the dormitories, and all these other different teams from not only all over the country, but also all over the globe are there. Joe, if you could tell us a little bit about how that experience has been, being able to meet people from all different walks of life.
It's been really cool. I myself travel a decent amount with like my family. So it's been like going to like Mexico. They're like right next to us. So I know a little bit of Spanish. So I could somewhat talk to them, but like the Japanese kids and the Chinese Taipei, no clue.
That's got to be a little different culture, I'm sure, up there. But one thing you guys all have in common is you like baseball and you're pretty good at it, and that's why you guys are still standing. There are a lot of teams that started this year hoping to be able to play in Williamsport, and just a handful of you guys have been able to race out there and be able to be a part of it. While you're staying in the Grove up there, how's the food? Brady, give me an idea of what the food's like. Let's go down the line here. What you got?
So I think the food's pretty good. Yesterday we had, what did we have yesterday?
We had like cheeseburgers, hot dogs.
Like, we get a lot of good food.
And steak. You had steak last night.
Oh, yeah, we did the steak.
Are feeding you guys pretty good?
Burgers? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot better than Warner Robins.
Andrew, give me an idea. Andrew, how is it in the dorms? You guys able to get any rest?
Sometimes some of our teammates stay up and start talking a lot.
Well, now
Who talks?
Who's the class clown on this team?
Preston.
Preston, Brady Jordan. Sometimes Birdie.
They
Just
normally are the
They
last.
just won't shut it down at night?
Nope, never.
Well, who's kind of the class clown of the group?
Class clown, but Bubba.
Jake McQuilkin.
Cloakberg.
He's the guy that kind of keeps it light in the dugout. like in the locker
Yeah.
room?
Yeah.
Him and Sutton.
All right. Who's the best ping pong player there?
Ryder or
I
Press?
beat her.
Ryder or Press?
Have you guys been doing that quite a bit? What are some of the other things you guys are doing when you're up in the dorm and up there hanging out away from baseball? What are some of the things you guys have enjoyed the most? Anybody can answer that one.
We play wiffle ball. Maybe play a little bit of wiffle ball. But my personal favorite game is this NASCAR simulator. So it's like a NASCAR racing game that you go
It's like
around.
is it an arcade game? It's like an arcade
Yeah,
game?
it's an arcade game.
Well, let me go ask each of you guys this question. I'm sure if you've done a lot of stuff for the TV, you've probably gotten a lot of these questions because I know they'll put these things up on the when you come up to bat. They'll say your favorite food, the favorite this, favorite that. I'm just kind of curious who you guys, if you watch Major League Baseball, who your favorite guys are. We'll start with Brady. Who's your favorite major leaguer and why?
I like Freddie Freeman because he played for the Braves, and I think he's a good guy. He's also just really good at baseball.
Joe?
I like Mookie Betts. I grew up like somewhere or like up in the north area. So when he played for the Red Sox, my mom was a Red Sox fan. So I just fell in love with Mookie Betts, and I just followed him to the Dodgers.
So it's interesting. Both of you guys, your favorite players, they're your favorite from the team that they came from. Now they're with their teammates. Andrew, who's your favorite player?
Probably Cal Raleigh.
He's doing okay right now. The Big Dumper, right?
Yeah.
A pretty good season. He's on my fantasy team, so go Big Dumper. Coach, who'd you follow growing up?
I'm a Twins fan. My favorite player growing up was Kirby Puckett. But I've lived in Minnesota in 87 and 91, just right around 91 we left when they won the World Championship. Big Twins fan for sure.
Well, you guys who played the game you're not old, but you played it long enough. Superstitions are a big deal in our sport. Some guys, I've heard some crazy ones over the years. Let's just go back through that line again. Andrew, we'll start with you. Do you have any superstitions, and what are they?
I have two. One is a pregame prayer with my team, and the other one is like when we're losing or when we need runs, it's eating Sour Patch Kids.
And Joe?
Probably our prayer that we do. We always do that. So whenever I hit, always like the logo faces me on the bat. So if you look at my bat, they're just the one side is worn down.
Makes sense. A lot of hitters do that. Brady?
I probably have the same superstitions as Andrew.
Now, Brady, I got a special message for you from PJ Morlando. He noticed that you had his gloves on. The PJ Morlandos that came out, the Bruce Bolts. He wanted to make sure you knew that he saw that, and he was pretty cool that you were rocking those things. Now, I understand Easton is the way you go up in Williamsport. He wanted to know where you got those gloves from.
So, agent I forgot his name.
His name is Lee Long.
Yeah,
Yep.
He is the one who gave them to me, and he really wanted me to wear them. And I really liked them also, so just went with them.
They had to either retire those or put those on hold for a little while. Is that right?
Probably on hold.
You mean, yeah, I mean, what do you guys have to wear while you're here?
That's where Easton.
Yeah. But they're nice. They're nice.
Very good
Yeah,
sponsor
pretty
for
nice.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting. I got the snapshot of you on the screen. This was before the walk-off, actually, Brady, and it said your hobby was fishing, and you had, of course, those batting gloves on. So, PJ, he's somebody that's been a friend of DP for a while. Maybe you guys can catch one of his podcasts that he's done with us in the past. But anyway, just want to mention that. I thought that was pretty cool. You're rocking those things. Well, Coach, if you could just kind of tell us, you mentioned Sour Patch Kids. I think your son did. There's something about Skittles that came up. I read that and saw that the other day. Give us a little idea, some backstory on the Skittles. I want to know where the bet came from and what did you win by following through on the bet. Tell us that story if you would.
Man, so let me first say, Sour Patch Kids come from a travel ball parent, Miss Julie, and the boys love that. So that is definitely a team tradition. I believe that. In terms of the Skittles and all that, I have some of my best friends in the world I went to college with. We used to play a game called You Won't, basically, and it was a dare game, and really it was just for pride. And so as this thing started and they knew, in our group chat that we were going to be on ESPN and I was going to be wearing a microphone, one of them, I don't remember which one, said, Dave, you got to drop, Bogey, they call me, Bogey, you got to drop some words, in honor, pay homage of us. And so in the first game, it was bacon. So there was a couple of mound visits where I used the word bacon and everybody looked at me like I was nuts.
Oh.
Meaning Joe was pissed. Remember I said we needed to give Coach Pat and Miss Jeannie Right? You remember that? Right, a
Yes.
fridge of bacon. Yeah, you guys remember that now? So, and then after the first game, it just grew, and they gave me a list of 3 other words, and it was Tom Collins, it was hammer, and it was Skittles, because Skittles are my favorite candy. And, just try and make fun of it, have fun with it, I should say. And what it does is it allows me to kind of think about how fix that iPad, guys. Thanks. Sorry for the technical difficulty.
Live TV.
Yeah, that's right. So, I can kind of think about what we want to say when we go out there. And on that last mound visit, I actually went out. I was disappointed and was trying to fight back some anger with the play at shortstop. Preston didn't complete a play, so we needed to talk to him about that. And the body language of the catcher, I don't remember whose kid that is, but the body language of the catcher wasn't great. He was a little pouty. And so I felt like I needed to go out and address it. And I think, some of the social media stuff has made it look prophetic, but it really wasn't. It was more about me just trying to get them to focus. And so in that moment, I said to Brady, we're going to hammer the strike zone. Check. And after the game, we're going to go eat some Skittles. Check. Now I did eat Skittles. I had a bag later that day, but the kids, it's more about the Sour Patch for them. And so, it's just a way to have fun with my buddies that back home, or not even back home, that are just all over the country that I went to college with. I think it's taken on a life of its own now, and we'll see. They're in the process of coming up with things that are more challenging. And I told them, we'll see, but we'll see what I can do. We'll see what I can do. But that's the story. And, I think the kids responded, they look at me when I say some of these crazy things like I'm nuts. But part of that is to get their mind off the pressure in that moment, and let's refocus a little bit. And so it's another mechanism that allows me to connect with them. So it's fun. And, we'll see what comes up in the next couple of games we're here. Hopefully we'll have something entertaining for the live audience, but we'll see.
Well, as we all follow, be waiting on those keywords and
Right.
hopefully find out later whether you cashed in again or not.
That's right. Oh, so back to your question. I don't win anything but an attaboy from the fellas. That's really all I get. And that's okay. That's totally okay.
Good times. I love it. Well, guys, while you're still sitting there too, I mean, it's probably been crazy for you guys. And like we talked about, just the groundswell of information that's out there right now about you guys becoming rock stars back home. You're having a good time. It's just about the baseball, and you're there for the baseball, but you're getting a chance to do so many other really cool things. There's a lot that you've done, but you still hopefully going to be there for a little while. And what are some things that you've got in front of you, like potentially on Sunday Night Baseball, they do the Little League special. Major League Baseball comes in, they've got a field not far down the road. You got 2 teams will be coming in. You'll be able to spend the day with big leaguers and things along those lines, hopefully after you win a baseball game earlier that day. Things like that. And maybe some other things you've got scheduled. What are some things other than just being able to play baseball again? What are some things you're looking forward to? Andrew?
Trading more pins and going try getting autographs from MLB players.
Joe?
I just want to talk to them, see their approaches and stuff that I could get tips that I could do on the field.
And Brady?
Try to get them to sign some stuff, talk to them about what they do daily, and trade pins.
Now, I know there's a big hill, and if you've ever watched in Williamsport, there's a huge hill beyond the outfield wall at Lombardy. Has anybody gone down on a cardboard box yet? Anybody slid down the hill?
Coach Dave won't let us.
Yeah, we don't
Coach.
He's right. Yeah, we don't want anybody to get hurt yet, but eventually we'll let them slide down the hill eventually.
You can't come back home until you go down the hill once.
That's right. That's
you
right.
gonna go down with him, Coach?
Sure, absolutely. I will
You guys
absolutely
got
go
to hold
down
him to that. You guys heard it right there.
Yeah, I'll go down the hill.
There you go. Well, now, I was going to tell you, with all the information that's out there and all the, whether it be social media or local media and that sort of thing, I hope you've got more room on the bandwagon, because as you guys have continued to progress, and I'm sure more than at any other point, people trying to jam onto that bandwagon right now. And I look forward to, just kind of seeing how you guys make this run. It's going to be fun to follow, be fun to see how each one of you players, are able to perform individually. Coach, have you talked to any people that have been to it before, that have been in your shoes? Any advice as far as how to handle your team, how to handle yourself, some of the decision making that you need to make? Is there any people that you've been able to reach out to that'll help you during this experience?
I haven't, and part of the reason is because while here we have a team host, or we've had 2 team hosts, and they I don't know if they still call them this, but we call them uncles. So we have Uncle Chris and Uncle Mike, who really just walk us through everything. They answer all of our questions. They help guide us. They help schedule practices in the system. They help us do everything to make this a smooth, clean experience for us and for coaches and the boys. They help transport equipment, everything. So I haven't really had the need to reach out to other folks. I've definitely had people offer. To be honest with you, the head coach from Florida, Jonathan, offered as well. Appreciate his willingness to help, but haven't really felt like we needed had questions that weren't answered. And so the opportunity's there, but what Little League provides in terms of support is second to none. And I feel like we haven't missed a beat. Busy for sure, but haven't missed a beat, and feel like that, we're doing well. So
Now, since you guys have been out there, school started in this area, back here in the Columbia area. Most everybody's back in school. If you could, Coach, tell us an idea how that has worked with them not showing up in class, being able to make up work that's already, that they're already getting a little bit behind. Are you able to focus on that at all?
We're working through it. I think, to be honest with you, I think some of the school Rich Flex 5 is trying to help, but they've got some automated processes in place that are making this difficult. A good number of the kids have their computers and Chromebooks and are trying to do homework to stay involved, even though they're not at school. So we're working through it. I think some of the schools have been a little easier to work with, quite honestly, than others. But I will say that everybody recognizes that this is a once in a lifetime experience, and they're reassuring that it'll be okay. Whatever it is and however it works out, it'll be okay. We don't have all the solutions yet, but I think that as long as the boys can get their Chromebooks and do some work and, some of the early homework and stay involved in their schooling, it'll be fine.
And I'm sure you boys, you're not minding missing class right now, right? I'm assuming that's probably playing baseball has got to be right up there. The experience you're having, but the fact you're not having to be sitting in the classroom right now, that's pretty cool too, right? Well, I hope you guys have a blast, and the experience you guys are having is going to be one that you tell the story many, many years after this is over with. Hopefully you guys go on to have wonderful baseball careers, families of your own. You get a chance to be around the game and have a wonderful life after 12 years old. But right now you're getting a chance to experience something that a lot of people never do at any age. And so just I hope you guys are able to, and Coach, you too, and your staff and the remainder of your players are just really able to enjoy this experience so that it is something that they'll be able to look back on finally. Certainly, the more games you win there, the more successful the experience will appear.
Right.
But more than anything else, it's something that you guys will be able to keep with you for the rest of your lives. And so we certainly want to wish you guys the best of luck. I'm just going to go down the line. We'll start with the boys real quick. Any shout outs that you guys have? Anybody back home? Hey, man, I want to talk to so-and-so or say hello to so-and-so. We'll go with the guys first and then wrap with you, Coach. Andrew, you first.
I'd like to shout out my brother, Jake. He's been to 2 Senior League World Series, and I just wanted to shout him out.
And Joe?
I'd like to shout out my friends at school, Hank Boozer, Colton Ken, and there's too many. I can't say them.
Yeah, no pressure. Don't leave anybody out, right?
Yeah.
When you get back. Brady, anybody for you?
I'd like to shout out Mom and Dad for taking the time to take me here and spending money on stuff I like to do. And I'd like to also shout out my uncle for getting me another Bruce Bowl glove I got.
That's great. Well, Coach, I'm sure you'd like to give some kudos and a fist bump to somebody.
Yeah, I actually, there's a number of people back home, that have supported us, and the outreach has been great. Our parents have been fantastic. Want to thank them. To name a couple of people specifically, the first one I want to name is Justin Baxter, who was the president. This is his first year not being the president, but he was the president of Irmo Little League for the previous 8 years, and he set up a fantastic culture and league that allowed us to build to this moment and with this team. Justin deserves the utmost credit for all the hard work that he put in. Secondly, of course, the current board, Bobby Jensen, Jen Von On, and others that have really supported us through this. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my assistant coaches briefly. Mike Beckworth, who's at third. Mike's been with me for, this is our 4th season as an all-star coach. He's a great baseball man. He knows the game well. He teaches it well to the kids. Also need to talk to Pat Gravel. Pat is one of the unique coaches in Little League history, probably. He was an assistant coach on the seniors team that went to the Senior League World Series earlier the end of July, in Easley. And now he's the assistant coach here. So he's got 2 sons that participated in 2 World Series. So there it goes again. So kudos to Pat. When he was in Easley, I had to call pitches, and I told him it's not an easy job, and he can stick with that, because I always was worried I was gonna call the wrong pitch. But there's plenty of people obviously supported my wife and family have been great. And so, I will say one other thing, and I think not to discount the state of South Carolina. We love it. We absolutely love South Carolina and all the support they've given. But in the regional championship game, we made a conscious decision to wear our Irmo jerseys, because we wanted to represent our community and the Little League that have brought us here. And it's important. And they're great people, and we totally appreciate their support. And we're very excited to represent them, and hopefully we can do them honor and justice while we're here, because they're great people and they're great at supporting the community.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Well, I think you guys will be just fine as long as they handle ground balls with a little more grace than they have this technology right here.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
No better hands on Thursday. But no, I really appreciate you guys coming on. And really, when I reached out to you right after you had won, Coach, you got right back to me. I appreciate you getting back to me so that we could set this up. I know it's a whirlwind. You got a lot going on while you're out there, but I appreciate you taking a little bit of time for us. And look forward to seeing these guys not only play on TV, but as they get a little bit older, they're going to probably be playing in our fall leagues and hopefully come
hope so.
the games themselves. If you remember in my initial text to you, I was inviting your team to be able to come out and be recognized at the Palmetto games this weekend, but I didn't realize that they were going to whisk you away that quick. But guys, our intention was to certainly recognize you, and this is an opportunity for us to do that as well. But we'll be following. Everyone else back here is going to be following, and we look forward to seeing what you guys accomplish. So Joe, Brady, Andrew, really appreciate you guys coming on today. Again, congratulations on what you've accomplished so far, and we certainly look forward to what you guys have next, not just this next week, but as your baseball careers certainly propel forward. And Coach, I again appreciate you getting back to me and being able to make this work, so that we can come on and give you guys a little bit of props from back here in the Palmetto State, in the capital of the city, right down the road from where you guys are, is where I am. And I know a lot of people around here are just really, really excited that the local team is doing well.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Thursday.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Nope. Just thank you for the support. I've been in and around Diamond Prospect stuff and saw a lot of the congratulations to all the guys that won awards and played in the Palmetto games. We know a number of them from Dutch Fork, Chapin, and other schools. So definitely congratulations to you, Austin, and thank you for having us on for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Thursday's the day, 3 o'clock. Your clocks, folks. That's going to be on ESPN. They're back at Lamedy, and they're going to be playing against a team that's representing out of the north, I guess from back where you're
New
from.
England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be from New England and back in your roots. So 3 o'clock on Thursday, ESPN at Lamedy. Folks, make sure you check it out. Appreciate you joining the Bullpen Show. Our next episode will be our recap of the Palmetto Games 50th episode. That'll be our 51st, and we'll be able to chronicle everything that happened over the course of the weekend at Riley Park and Sumter. Coach, I appreciate you. Boys, appreciate you guys as well. Look forward to seeing you play. Go Irmo and go South Carolina in the Williamsport Little League World Series. I'm Austin Alexander. Again, thank you guys for joining me. We'll see you again next time on the Bullpen Show.